Gentlemen, start with a simple yet profound truth. Your body is the foundation of your potential. It is not a mere vessel you inhabit, not a passive bystander to your ambitions or your struggles. It is the vehicle through which you experience the world, the engine that powers your dreams, the anchor that keeps you grounded, and the force that allows you to stand tall in the face of adversity. To neglect it is to handicap yourself before the race has even begun. To care for it is not a selfish act. It is a declaration of your intent to show up fully in life, to live not as a shadow of what you could be, but as a vibrant, capable, and thriving individual. How often do we take our bodies for granted? How often do we push them beyond their limits, fuel them with things that sap rather than sustain, and ignore their cries for rest, nourishment, and movement? It's a strange paradox. We demand so much of ourselves, more energy, more focus, more stamina, and yet we give so little in return. We live in a culture that celebrates hustle, productivity, and achievement, but often at the expense of the very thing that makes all of that possible, a healthy, functioning body. It is a curious kind of blindness, one that convinces us that neglecting ourselves is a badge of honor, that exhaustion is a sign of virtue, and that there will always be time later to take care of ourselves. But the truth is, there is no later. There is only now. A body, like any other foundation, needs to be built and maintained with care. Think of it as a masterpiece under constant construction. It needs the right materials, nutrient-rich foods that fuel rather than drain, water to hydrate and cleanse, rest to repair and restore. It needs movement, not just for the sake of fitness, but because movement is life. When you move, you remind yourself that you are alive, that you are capable, that you are not stuck. Exercise is not a punishment for what you ate or a chore to check off your list. It is an act of celebration. It is a way of saying, I value myself enough to invest in my own strength, energy, and well-being. Be clear, this is not just about aesthetics. It's not about chasing some arbitrary standard of beauty or fitness. It's about functionality. It's about vitality. It's about the freedom to do what you want, when you want, without being held back by your own limitations. A strong, healthy body is a tool that allows you to engage with the world, to pursue your goals, to care for those you love, and to face life's inevitable challenges with resilience. And that tool requires maintenance. It requires discipline. It requires the recognition that self-care is not selfish, it is essential. You might say, I don't have time to focus on my health. I'm too busy with work, with family, with obligations. But let me ask you this. What happens when your health fails? What happens when your body, pushed to its breaking point, can no longer keep up with the demands you place upon it? The time you thought you were saving by neglecting your health will be spent in hospitals, in recovery, in regret. As the old saying goes, he who has his health has 1,000 dreams. He who does not has but one. Not a message of fear, it is a call to action. Because the beautiful thing is, no matter where you are right now, you can begin to make changes. You don't have to overhaul your life overnight. Start small. Start with one meal, one workout, one night of better sleep. Start with a walk around the block or a glass of water in the morning. Start by listening to your body, really listening and giving it what it needs. These small acts, repeated consistently, will grow into habits. And those habits will transform not just your body, but your life. Here's something extraordinary. When you care for your body, it cares for you in return. The energy you invest in your health doesn't disappear, it multiplies. It comes back to you in the form of increased energy, sharper focus, improved mood, and greater resilience. It allows you to do more, to be more, to give more. It is not a cost, it is an investment, one with returns that are immeasurable. It is not just about the individual. When you prioritize your health, you set an example for those around you. You show your children, your friends, your colleagues, that health is not a luxury, it is a priority. You become a living testament to the idea that caring for yourself is not indulgence but responsibility. And in doing so, you inspire others to do the same. You create a ripple effect, one that can change lives, families, even communities. Do not forget, too, the connection between body and mind. The two are not separate, they are deeply intertwined. A healthy body supports a healthy mind. When you eat well, exercise, and rest, you are not just strengthening your body, you are calming your mind, sharpening your focus, and lifting your spirit. The philosopher Thich Nhat Hanh said, keeping your body healthy is an expression of gratitude to the whole cosmos, the trees, the clouds, everything. What a profound perspective that is, that by caring for yourself, you are honoring the very life that has been given to you. Let me be honest, this journey will not always be easy. There will be days when the couch feels more inviting than the gym, when comfort food seems more appealing than nourishment, when the demands of life make self-care feel impossible, and that's okay. You are human. You are allowed to stumble. What matters is not that you never falter, but that you keep getting back up. Progress is not a straight line. It is a dance of steps forward and steps back. And every step, no matter how small, is a step worth taking. Here we are, faced with a choice. You can continue to treat your body as an afterthought, a secondary concern to be dealt with when time permits. Or you can decide right here and now to make your health a priority. You can decide to honor the gift of life by caring for the vessel that carries it. You can decide to stop surviving and start thriving. Here's the truth. The world needs you. It needs your energy, your passion, your strength. It needs you at your best. Not just for yourself, but for the people who depend on you, for the dreams you want to pursue, for the impact you want to make. And you cannot be at your best if you are running on empty. Take care of yourself. Eat well, move your body, rest, hydrate, breathe. These are not just acts of self-preservation, they are acts of self-love. They are declarations that you are worthy of the effort, that your health matters, that your life matters. And in making those declarations, you not only transform yourself, you transform the world around you. Ladies and gentlemen, begin by acknowledging a truth so simple yet so profound that it often eludes us in the chaos of our daily lives. Your mind is your most powerful ally, but it can also be your greatest enemy. It is the lens through which you see the world, the source of your decisions, your emotions, your ambitions, and your fears. It is both the architect of your dreams and the saboteur of your peace. And yet, how often do we pause to care for it, to nurture it, to quiet its storms and sharpen its focus? We devote endless hours to our work, to our families, to our obligations. But how much time do we spend tending to the one thing that shapes everything else? Our minds. A world that never stops moving, where distractions are constant and demands unrelenting. The ability to cultivate a healthy mind is nothing short of revolutionary. It is an act of defiance against the chaos, a refusal to be swept away by the currents of stress, anxiety, and overwhelm. But let me be clear, this is not a luxury. This is not something you do when you have the time. This is essential, because when your mind is calm, focused, and strong, you can face anything. You can make better decisions, build deeper relationships, and approach your challenges with clarity and resilience. And when your mind is in turmoil, even the simplest tasks become monumental. The first step in caring for your mind is understanding it. Your mind is not a machine. It is a living, breathing entity that responds to what you feed it, how you use it, and the environment you place it in. It is deeply influenced by your thoughts, your habits, your experiences, and even the people you surround yourself with. As the philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. What colors are you painting your mind with? Are they the dark shades of doubt, fear, and negativity, or the bright hues of hope, gratitude, and possibility? The most powerful tools for cultivating a healthy mind is mindfulness. And let me tell you, mindfulness is not some abstract, esoteric concept reserved for yogis and monks. It is a practice, a discipline, a way of being. It is the art of being present fully, completely, without judgment. It is about bringing your attention to this moment, not the one that just passed, not the one you're worried about tomorrow, but this moment, because this moment is the only one you truly have. Mindfulness does not mean you ignore your problems or pretend they don't exist. It means you face them with clarity and composure. It means you stop running from discomfort and start understanding it. When you practice mindfulness, you are no longer a slave to your thoughts. You become their master. You create a space between stimulus and response, a space where you can choose how to act rather than reacting out of habit or fear. Viktor Frankl, a man who endured unimaginable suffering in a concentration camp, wrote, "Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. That space is mindfulness." Mindfulness is only part of the equation. To cultivate a healthy mind, you must also take care of your body. The two are not separate. They are deeply connected. The food you eat, the sleep you get, the exercise you engage in, All of these things affect your mind just as much as they affect your body. Poor nutrition, chronic fatigue, and physical inactivity don't just drain your energy. They cloud your mind. They make it harder to think clearly, to stay focused, to manage your emotions. Conversely, when you nourish your body, you nourish your mind. When you move your body, you clear your mind. And when you rest your body, you renew your mind. A crucial aspect of mental health is the way you handle stress. Stress is inevitable. It is part of life. But it does not have to control you. It does not have to consume you. Stress becomes destructive only when you let it pile up, unexamined and unmanaged. The key is to recognize it, to face it, to understand its source, and to address it constructively. This is where practices like journaling, meditation, and even simple deep breathing can make a profound difference. They allow you to step back, to gain perspective, to remind yourself that no problem is insurmountable, no challenge unending. Let's not underestimate the power of gratitude in maintaining a healthy mind. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is lacking to what is abundant. It reminds you of the good in your life, even when things feel difficult. It is not a denial of your struggles. It is an acknowledgement that amidst those struggles, there is still light. As the writer Melody Beattie once said, gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. When you practice gratitude, you train your mind to see the positive, to look for the beauty, to find the opportunity in every challenge. The truth no one likes to talk about. Cultivating a healthy mind takes work. It takes discipline. It takes the willingness to sit with discomfort, to confront your fears, to unlearn old habits and replace them with better ones. It takes time and patience and a commitment to yourself that cannot waver in the face of setbacks. And there will be setbacks. There will be days when your mind feels like a storm, when the noise and the chaos threaten to overwhelm you. On those days, you must remember that the work is worth it. Because a healthy mind is not just about feeling good, it is about being strong. It is about having the resilience to face whatever life throws at you and the clarity to navigate even the most challenging of paths. I tell you, the rewards of this work are immeasurable. When your mind is healthy, you see the world differently. You approach challenges not with fear, but with curiosity. You build relationships that are deeper and more meaningful because you are present and engaged. You find joy in the small moments because you are not distracted by the constant noise of worry and doubt. You become, in every sense of the word, alive. The most beautiful part. When you cultivate a healthy mind, you don't just change your life, you change the lives of those around you. You become a source of calm in a chaotic world, a beacon of hope in a sea of despair. Your peace becomes contagious, your strength and inspiration. You show others what is possible when you take the time to care for yourself, to nurture your mind, to prioritize your well-being. I leave you with this. Your mind is your most precious resource. Treat it with the care it deserves. Feed it with positive thoughts. Challenge it with meaningful work. Rest it when it is weary, and calm it when it is troubled. Cultivate mindfulness, embrace gratitude, and never stop working on yourself. Because when your mind is strong, you are strong. When your mind is clear, you can see the path ahead. And when your mind is at peace, you can weather any storm. Truth about life that we all know deep down, but it's one we often try to avoid. Motivation is fleeting. It's a wave that comes and goes, rising high one moment and crashing low the next. We've all experienced it. The surge of excitement when you set a new goal, the rush of energy that comes with the promise of change. But how often does that excitement fade when the days grow long, when the work becomes tedious, when the results are slower than you hoped? How often does the wave of motivation recede, leaving you stranded, wondering where all that enthusiasm went? And in those moments, what do you rely on? What carries you forward when motivation abandons you? The answer, my friends, is discipline. The truth that so many people fail to grasp. Discipline will take you further than motivation ever could. Motivation may get you started, but discipline keeps you moving. Motivation is the spark that lights the fire, but discipline is the wood that keeps it burning. It is not about waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect feeling, or the perfect circumstances. It's about creating consistency, about doing the small things over and over until they add up to something extraordinary. As Aristotle said, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. This is the power of habits. Habits are the building blocks of discipline. They are the small, seemingly insignificant actions that, when repeated consistently, create a foundation for success. It's easy to overlook the importance of habits because they don't yield immediate results. Eating one healthy meal won't transform your body. One workout won't make you fit. One night of good sleep won't erase years of exhaustion. But string those actions together, day after day, week after week, month after month, and the transformation becomes undeniable. The beauty of habits is that they take the burden off your willpower. You don't have to decide every day whether to exercise, eat well, or meditate. You simply do it because it's part of who you are. And that's the goal, to move from forcing yourself to do what's good for you to embodying it as a natural part of your identity. Habits are the bridge between who you are now and who you want to become. Building habits, and by extension discipline, requires something that many people find uncomfortable: delayed gratification. In a world that constantly tempts us with instant rewards, it takes strength to say no to the fleeting pleasures of the moment in favor of the deeper, lasting rewards of the future. It's hard to choose the salad over the burger, the workout over the nap, the book over the endless scroll on your phone. But every time you make that choice, you strengthen your discipline. Every time you choose what is hard over what is easy, you prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you thought. Not to say that discipline is about depriving yourself or living a life of constant struggle. It's about choosing the things that truly matter, the things that align with your values and your goals, over the things that offer temporary comfort but leave you feeling empty. It's about recognizing that true fulfillment comes not from indulging every impulse, but from building a life of meaning, purpose, and integrity. As Seneca said, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult." Discipline gives you the courage to dare. I'll tell you something that's often misunderstood about discipline. It's not about being perfect. You will have days when you slip up, when you fall short, when you let yourself down. That's part of being human. Discipline is not about never failing. It's about never giving up. It's about getting back up after every fall, about starting again, even when it feels like you're starting from scratch. Progress is not a straight line. It's a series of peaks and valleys, steps forward and steps back. But as long as you keep moving, as long as you keep trying, you are winning. The most remarkable thing about discipline, it doesn't just change your actions, it changes you. When you build discipline, you build self-respect. You prove to yourself that you are capable, that you are strong, that you can keep the promises you make to yourself. You stop relying on external validation because you know your worth comes from within. Discipline gives you the confidence to face life's challenges because you know you have the strength to endure, to persevere, to overcome. Let's not forget the ripple effect of discipline. When you commit to bettering yourself, you inspire those around you to do the same. Your consistency, your resilience, your determination, they become a beacon of hope for others. You show them what is possible, not through words, but through actions. You create a ripple that spreads far beyond what you can see, touching lives in ways you may never fully understand. To be honest, this path is not easy. It's not supposed to be. Growth is never comfortable. Change is never convenient. But that's what makes it so powerful. The very act of choosing discipline over complacency, of choosing growth over stagnation, is what sets you apart. It's what transforms you from someone who dreams of a better life to someone who creates it. The question is not whether you can build discipline, you can. The question is whether you will choose to. Will you choose to do the small hard things that no one sees, that no one applauds, that no one celebrates? Will you choose to show up for yourself even when it's inconvenient, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's the last thing you want to do? Because those choices, those moments of discipline are what define you. I'll leave you with this thought. The life you want is not out there somewhere, waiting to be found. It's here, right now, waiting to be built. It's built in the choices you make every day, in the meals you eat, the steps you take, the words you speak, the thoughts you think. It's built in the discipline you cultivate, in the habits you form, in the effort you give. The life you want is within your grasp, but it requires work. It requires commitment. It requires discipline. Reward? The reward is a life of meaning, of purpose, of strength. A life where you can look in the mirror and say, I did the hard things. I became who I was meant to be. And that, my friends, is a reward worth every ounce of effort. Ladies and gentlemen, the secret to a fulfilled life? How do we stand against the inevitable tide of challenges, doubts, and frustrations? How do we ensure that at the end of the day we have lived with purpose, with meaning, and with intention? There is a simple yet profound answer to these questions, but it is not always easy to accept, nor is it always immediately rewarding. The answer lies in the way we build our days, our routines, and the way we approach the demands of life. The secret lies in our ability to find balance. Balance between our personal ambitions and our relationships, between our health and our work, between our dreams and our realities. The world is a whirlwind. There are voices constantly vying for your attention, distractions beckoning you to stray from your path, challenges that feel insurmountable, and moments of peace that seem few and far between. It is easy to lose yourself in this constant rush, to believe that every moment must be filled with activity, that the next big goal is always more important than the one you've already achieved, or that your success in the future will be the only thing that justifies your sacrifices in the present. But this kind of thinking, this addiction to busyness, only leaves you empty in the end. It's a constant race that ultimately leads nowhere meaningful. When we neglect our relationships, we become disconnected. And when we neglect our own well-being, physically, mentally, and emotionally, we become disconnected from ourselves. The idea that you can pursue success while sacrificing everything else is a fallacy that too many people fall prey to. True success, true fulfillment, is found in balance, in a life that honors both your ambition and your humanity. As the writer James Allen once said, the man who cherishes his life and his health knows that the greatest of all things is not the things he can accumulate, but the peace he can find. It is in finding peace amid the chaos that we build lives that are worth living. The way you structure your day, the small things you do, the choices you make, these form the foundation of your life. If your days are filled with stress, with work that consumes you, with thoughts that constantly wander, you are not living, you are merely surviving. In contrast, when you learn to prioritize the things that matter, when you focus on what is truly important, when you nurture your health, your relationships, your purpose, you begin to build a life that resonates with meaning. This requires a shift in mindset. You must stop seeing your life as a never-ending list of tasks, each one more urgent than the last, and start seeing it as a journey, a process of growth, a path that requires care and patience. The foundation of balance is rooted in self-awareness. To build a balanced life, you must first understand yourself, your needs, your desires, your weaknesses, and your strengths. Without this awareness, you will live your life on autopilot, responding to external demands without ever considering what you need or want. Self-awareness allows you to step back and make deliberate decisions about how you spend your time, where you place your energy, and what you choose to prioritize. As the philosopher Socrates once said, "Know thyself." Without this understanding, we are at the mercy of the world's demands, pulled in every direction with no anchor to hold us steady. To have this awareness, the next step is to establish boundaries. Boundaries are not walls. They are the guardrails that protect your peace and well-being. They allow you to say yes to what matters most and no to what drains you. They help you preserve your energy, your time, and your focus for the things that truly contribute to your growth and happiness. This could mean saying no to extra work that you don't have the bandwidth for, or limiting the time you spend on distractions that lead you nowhere. It could also mean investing in relationships that nurture you, setting aside time for self-care, and allowing yourself the rest and recuperation you need to stay strong. It is, at its core, an act of self-respect. Balance is not about finding a perfect equilibrium. Life is dynamic, ever-changing. What works today may not work tomorrow. And yet, the ability to pivot, to adjust, to realign yourself with your priorities, this is the key to a fulfilling life. Balance requires flexibility. It means acknowledging that there will be times when you will need to pour yourself into your work, but also recognizing that there are times when you must rest, when you must recharge, when you must focus on your relationships, or when you must turn inward and reflect. The challenge is learning how to navigate these ebbs and flows without losing yourself in any one area. As Bruce Lee once said, absorb what is useful, discard what is not, add what is uniquely your own. This is how we craft a life that is truly our own, a life that honors our personal truth. The most important aspects of balance is the ability to cultivate a sense of gratitude. Gratitude doesn't just shift your mindset, it shapes your entire perspective. When you are grateful, you are more likely to appreciate the small things, the quiet moments, the simple pleasures, the beauty that is already present in your life. It is so easy to get lost in the pursuit of what we don't have, to chase the next big goal without ever stopping to acknowledge the progress we've made, the people we've met, and the gifts we've been given. Gratitude grounds you, brings you back to what matters, and helps you appreciate what you already have. As Maya Angelou wisely said, "This is a wonderful day. I've never seen this one before." There is power in appreciating the present moment, in recognizing that every day is an opportunity to be thankful for the life you are creating. You must understand that balance is not about perfection. Life is messy, complicated, and unpredictable. There will be moments when you feel overwhelmed, when you fall short of your own expectations, when you fail to meet your goals. That is part of the human experience. The goal is not to avoid failure or hardship, but to navigate it with grace, to learn from it, and to keep moving forward. Life is about progress, not perfection. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts, as Winston Churchill famously said. At the end of the day, it's not the number of achievements you collect, the wealth you accumulate, or the recognition you receive that truly matters. It is the balance you create between all the various parts of your life. The balance between work and rest, between striving and surrender, between self-discipline and self-compassion. When you live with balance, you live with intention. And when you live with intention, you are creating a life that is not just successful, but meaningful, fulfilling, and truly yours.